Hi guys, welcome back to my channel for the second part of the No Secret series. In this series I explain from scratch through mix, through mastering and release how I create a techno or an EDM track. And in the last episode I started with the intro, with the kick, the bass and the drums, and now we can continue with the build up of the track through the drop. Okay, in the first episode I ended with adding the ride. So I had a small break here to introduce the ride, and then I can go on with the build up. So until now the drums were really simple and really mechanic. So what I need to do now before I go on with the build up is to change some small things about my drums so that I have a better groove. So I will take that last part here because now I have almost all of my hats, the rides, the percussion, and I will play with that in small parts just to make some differences, that it's not sounding the same and that the groove is still being good all the time. So let's start with the clap. I'm gonna move the clap a little bit at the end, so we'll do something like this. The percussion, maybe I can put it in front of the clap. Yes, and the open hi-hat I can put it at last, and then here there is an empty space because there's no ride, so maybe I should do something with that too. Maybe I can copy the ride like this. That's too mechanical, so I have to do something about this groove. Maybe I'll put the closed hi-hat here. Yes, that's better. Okay, so now only that last part. I will consolidate this and I'll give it another color so that I know that it's another groove. Now that I've made some adjustments to my groove, I can copy it again and continue building on these drums. So again I will copy it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm gonna work on this part here. Okay, so I copied this part, and before the transition I will again do a small change in my bass line, and this time I will play with the scale or with the note. I think just with the scale. So I will put that last part here up, or maybe totally up. Let's hear what that gives. Yeah, that's cool. So I will give that bass line another color again. Now it's time to put some white noise or some impact effect to introduce that new part. I would like to put some effect also on that white noise, so I'm gonna do a little pump on it. So that's an introduction of this new part. Now if we look at the whole track until now, we got the intro here, so that's the part where the DJ can mix in, and now we're gonna start with the serious part, with the build up of the track, with a kind of melody or something, or maybe some plug, or I don't know. I'm gonna try some things, and until I find a nice rhythm, a nice melody, or a nice groove, or something that adds some color to the track without being too present. Okay, so I'm gonna look for some nice sounds, a plug maybe. Let's start with this. Something like that. So I will record it. Something like this. Let's take a look at the notes. Maybe a little bit shorter. Put at 132. I'll copy it 4 times, and maybe here we need to do something about the groove so that it's not always the same coming back. Let's see. Okay, so now I've got the notes, but I think it's sounding too mechanical and too everything on the same place, so I'm going to put some effect on it. I'm going to use the UGM Flux, and I think there's some nice effects with the rhythmic things, like the ground control. Yeah, that's better, but I think there's maybe too much reverb, or maybe the notes are too long. Let's see what we can do about that. Yeah, a little bit less cut off. Because this still needs to be something in the background. I don't want this to be the melody, it's just a build up. And here again, I'm gonna sidechain it, or I'm gonna pump it. It needs to be something to be done because I'm still not satisfied with that sound. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I'm gonna rename this on the plug. I got already a plug, so that's the second one, so I name it plug 2. And I'll copy that again. Now I feel I need to do something with my kick over here. So this part I will do another color, and I will automate the EQ8. And in this blue part I feel I need to put a vocal, so I'm gonna think about what I'm going to put as a vocal. I want to record the vocal myself, so I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna sing something, I don't know yet, but I want everything 100% made by myself. I think we also need a crispy sound, because I always use the principle of call response. So there need to be a call and there need to be a response in the back as an effect. So I need some kind of B-freeze or something that's really crunchy. Yeah, I think that's it. So now I'm going to put it somewhere in between, and that will be the call, and there will be another response, and that's the response will be another effect. I'll record it. I rename it also reeds, and also on that reeds I will put some pumper effect, but only at the tail, just to make it blend better in the track. Also 1/16 and then 180, and then I'm gonna automate this. feel this one is coming too early. Or it's too long maybe. Yeah, that's better. And then maybe to blend it a little bit more, I'm gonna put some reverb. And remember guys, this is still my production, so it's not my mixing. I'm not doing any mixing. When I use reverb here, it's mainly to push the things in the background. I will use another kind of reverb and with different techniques in my mixing, but this is really to push that sound a little bit in the background. So I use the Eventide the black hole. I really like this one to push the things in the background. Okay, so that is my call. Now I need to have a response for that. So I have a funny sound here, like a frog sound. Maybe this can be my response sound. I will try it. Maybe I will switch it, I don't know yet. So the res is the call. And the frog is the response, so I did one higher on the second part, so I will record it. Okay, that's another effect, so I rename it effect. I put it together with my effects, but it's a little bit too loud, I think. It needs also to be in the background. Okay, that sounds cool. So I don't need this effect and this call response all the time. It's just coming back a little bit later, so I'll copy it like this. Okay, now I feel that I need some big reverb clap just to end up the sound of the call and the response. I think I got something here in Omnisphere also. There's so many sounds in Omnisphere. I really like that plugin. Yeah, that's the one I mean. Okay, now I'm gonna record it and I'm gonna put the clap at the end before introducing the kick, who is going to be cut off with the EQ. So that's another introduction instrument. Yeah, and I rename this clap reverb. Now I feel after the clap, when my kick is changing, I will need to use something like the pad or the texture again. So I will try with the texture. And maybe the texture and the pad, but I will begin with the texture. You see, like the texture is just finishing at the moment that the effect is coming in. So the effect is erasing the sound of the texture, and that's why the instruments can play together and not fight with each other. Now I think at the last part I will need to use the pad and then something like maybe the res with some automation to bring some tension. Okay, so that's the pad over here. And I think we need to play also with the res here, and I'm going to show you a very easy trick, but that makes a huge difference. I'm going to draw here one note, a long note, and then I will use a filter to open it, and that's the introduction of the new part again. And again, we can use the filter to pump also at the end, so that brings a lot of tension. I feel in this part that I need to cut off the rights, or to put them down with the volume. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a utility on it, and here in the part where the kick is changing, I will bring down the rights until they disappear completely. And maybe I can put some clap here also just before we start instead of the kick. So I will cut this one, split up, I'll put him here. Maybe I will mute everything here when the clap is coming. There is still something that I don't like. I think that it's the open hi-hat. Probably I will need to do the same thing then with the ride. So I'll automate also the volume of the open hi-hat. And then I will need to do something with my closed hi-hats to make some difference. I don't know. I think maybe here I can do something better, like this. And even better like this. It's a kind of drum roll, but then with the hi-hats. And I'll give it another color also. Maybe I need to mute that last part also. Yes. Now I'm gonna record some vocals. Maybe I think of something stupid like silence is just another frequency. I will record that and then I will process it a little bit so that it matches the track, and we will see what it gives. Okay, so I recorded these words and let's see what we can do with it. Silence is just another frequency. Okay, first I will use a compressor just to try to make the volumes match, and here I see there was a small delay, so silence is just another frequency. Let's see how this matches with the music. Silence is just another frequency. What I usually do with my vocals, you can see there's some peaks here and here. So this one I will split, I will bring it a little bit down so that when it comes into the compressor it's easier. I almost never use compressors except for my vocals. So that looks better. I'm gonna consolidate it again. I always use the 1176. I will try to do some adjustments so that my vocal sounds a little bit better. Silence is just another frequency. Okay, then I will freeze and flatten it just to see what the compressor did. Okay, now I need to put it in mono again. I will do some basic EQ, and then afterwards I can put an effect on it, and then my voice won't be recognizable. I hope so, because like most of the people, I think I hate to hear myself.
It's just
so most of the time what I do for a vocal, I do a serious cut of 3-4 dB at 300 and then at 8000. I boost it a little bit.
It's just another frequency.
Here I see
It's just another frequency. It's just another frequency. It's just another frequency.
And here I need a small de-essing, because in the S,
it's just another frequency.
Yes, that's better.
It's just another frequency.
Okay, now I'm gonna try some effect.
Silence is just another frequency.
So let's hear what it gives with the music.
Silence is just another frequency.
Okay, it sounds really good in stereo, but I'm sure if I put it in mono that half of the voice will disappear. So let's do the test.
Silence is just another frequency.
Okay, so what I'll try to do here is just to adapt the width, maybe at 20%.
Silence is just another frequency.
Okay, that should be okay. So if I listen to the track in mono,
silence is just another frequency.
yeah, the vocal is cool. Now there's one small issue with the plugin, with the wormhole plugin. If you leave it like this, it will give a huge latency on the other instruments. So what I need to do here is again to freeze and flatten. What I like to do with my vocals is just put some fake delay. So I call it fake delay because I create the delay by copying the sample. And I just want the E. I duplicate my vocal. I delete this part and then I keep the E.
Frequency. Frequency. Silence is just another frequency.
Then I consolidate it again. And what I like to do is to play with the envelope. I just put it at the end, -12.
Frequency.
This one can disappear because the clap is coming in here. I call this vocal effect. And then in my mix I will put a shitload of reverb on this one so that it blends into the rest. So okay, this clap can be a little bit louder. I think I should deactivate this. I don't know where is the sound coming from, but I want to have only the clap. Yeah, I have the pad here. So for all the instruments that are giving a reverb tail, I will make some headroom or some place for my clap. So I will automate the gain. just on that part. I don't know if this one has one. No, that's okay. Yes, this one has one. So the easiest way is just to copy the utility, so it copies the automation with it. So I think the Reese got also the same thing, so I copy my utility here after the black hole, so at the end, so that it, when I look at the automation, it takes up the reverb. I took away the 3 reverb tails from these instruments, so it makes more room for the clap. And maybe what I can do here is to do the same trick that with the right, is to copy the vocal and make it as an introduction. You hear the... So listen to this. Until now we have 1 minute and 45 seconds. So we have the intro, we have the pre-drop, and in the next part we will build the part towards the drop. So I'm really sorry guys, because it's I know it's long videos. If you watch this one and the previous one, it's almost an hour, but I really share all my steps, step by step, no secrets. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and share, and I'll see you in the next one where we will build up the drop. Thank you, bye bye.